I think the microphone's working fine, and I've got the style consultant standing by to let me know if it seems like it's working. I'm going to try and get over to restream.io, see if that looks like it's working. Let's see. It's spinning, so that's good. And I realize that I can't. Let's see. Oh, now I can hear. Okay, so that's bad. Spinning. So okay, that's so good. Now I know that it's streaming. And I realize that I can't. Sound looks like my microphone is working now I can perfectly. Hear. Okay, so that's bad. Spinning. And so now I know that hear it. And I realize that I. All right, turn that off. I can't hear it because my microphone's on. My microphone's in the plug, so it doesn't. It thinks that's a headphones. So let's. I should have the chat visible. Okay, you can hear it. Good. Yay, let's go. Okay, so now let me get over to, no, let me do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, so let's get control of the situation here. And first we want to mention that Thursday, down below, Thursday, go over to wdma.org to register. We got a host of great people. Even one of my friends at Adweek said he might show up, which would be a big deal because they're like the last bastion of performance marketing. So that's really cool. I hope that happens. But whoever comes, we always have a great time. We always have an amazing conversation, and oftentimes business gets done, which is, is part of why we're here, right? Part of why we're here is to make connections that benefit everybody. They're mutually beneficial. So get over to wdma.org. It'll be 2 o'clock on Thursday, and as I said, it's going to be fun. And the style consultant has some stuff rigged up for us. Trivia contest, an advertising and marketing Christmas trivia contest. How cool is that? It'll be worth the price of admission just for that. Okay, so now let's try and play. Okay, so last week, Thursday, I think, I talked about Peleton and how HBO had killed one of the big stars on the new Sex and the City. In the launch episode, millions of viewers killed the star on a Peleton. I took the stock down 11%, and so let me try and find the PDF of that. That's what I wanted to have up. Let's see if the PDF is even around. There we go. PDF. Nope, that's not around. This is. It's just amazing, as always. It was working, but now I must have moved something else around. Okay, we got to go to the PDF. Master PDF. There it is. Peloton's rapid response. Okay, good. Say okay, and scroll down a little. Okay, so Peleton responded very quickly. Ryan Reynolds' marketing team and his crazy ad agency snapped into action, and Peleton said, we could argue that, I didn't say all this last week because I thought it was just too funny, but Peleton was notified that their product might be used in the show, but was not told about how it was going to be used and didn't supply any product. And so they argue that they could have a lawsuit, a case against HBO, since their stock went down 11%. Since HBO clearly didn't care about about damaging their brand, and but they've chosen not to sue. However, another New York Times got a lawyer in on it, and he said no, they don't have a case because their trademark, the Peleton name trademark, doesn't apply. Explicitly is excluded from applying to use in in news contexts and other areas. It's down in here a bit. And so that was really interesting, I thought. Down here, let's see, here's the Federal Trademark Anti-Dilution Law explicitly carves out any fair use, including nominative fair use and non-commercial use, as in use in an expressive work. Okay, I didn't know this. Maybe you didn't either. Which a TV show clearly is. Okay, and so the Times kind of shot that in the foot and said not only would they lose the case, but they would also lose some control of their trademark, which would be really bad. So anyway, Ryan Reynolds put this little show together. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's a couple days ago. It had 3 million views. I don't know what it's got. We'll try to see what it's got so far. 5,400 retweets, 7,000 quotes, 41,000 likes on the Peleton account, and 93, like on Reynolds' account. Okay, and the stock went up 3% in pre-trading Monday morning. So, like I said, it would have been a nice opportunity to buy Peleton stock on Friday. But so anyway, let's get to the ad. See if I can make that work. I'm obviously scrambling here. Okay, let's see if this gets it. Yeah, here it goes. Okay, so let's get this to work, and here we go. I can't hear if it's working or not.
To new beginnings.
But
to new beginnings.
Here's the
great.
star.
I feel great.
You look great. I feel great. The star that was dead.
Ride?
Should we take another ride? Oh, that's the trainer.
Life's too short not to.
Life is too short not to. And so it's narrated
and
by
just
Ryan
like
Reynolds.
that, the world was reminded that regular cycling stimulates and improves your heart, lungs, and
stimulates your
circulation,
heart,
reducing your risk of
lungs, and
cardiovascular
circulation.
disease. Cycling
He's not
strengthens your
really
heart muscles,
dead,
lowers resting pulse,
so
and
don't
reduces
worry.
blood fat levels.
He's alive. Peloton. As usual, Ryan Reynolds comes through. So if anybody stomps your brand, you have an opportunity, because you're in the news, to pick up on that and turn it around. And I think that, if you can call Ryan Reynolds, let him do it, because he is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to go back over here, turn this off, turn this back on. I have just too many buttons. Ritson apparently was part of the Festival of Marketing, FM, done by Marketing Week, I believe, and he put together some tips for small brands looking to make big plays, okay? And it doesn't really tell you what the tips are. It's a 50-minute video, but, I just always think Ritson is worth listening to no matter what. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just give you a little taste of it. It's all I can do anyway. I'm not going to play 50 minutes of Mark Ritson, but I'll give you a little taste of it, and hopefully that'll get you to go to Marketing Week and find this information. Okay, so what he's talking about here is he's talking about a quadrant with marketing competence and organizational size. You see that? And so he says, at most of the marketing conferences, you're getting Oracle and Coca-Cola and Procter & Gamble. And he had, I think, some experience at Procter & Gamble. So did Tom Fishburne was at Procter & Gamble. And he says, you'd expect that big companies would have lots of competence. And you'd also expect that a lot of small companies would mainly not understand marketing much at all, but it mainly be sort of cheesy sales, and they just keep pounding the sales button. But he says a lot of big organizations, probably the most big organizations, do not have capable marketing. They have marketing incompetence over here. And there are some people who choose to work at small organizations and do incredible marketing. And so his presentation is going to focus on a subset of the very best examples of doing great small marketing, great marketing competence in small organizational size. And that was great. And so he broke down the presentation into small people. And so Danny DeVito, I saw him at O'Hare one time. Danny DeVito was his first example, and one of the things that he said was, when you have huge budgets, you can go get not only qualitative but quantitative research done, and quantitative research can be it's testing at scale. It's big numbers. It's the kind of thing that everybody would love to do. And in fact, in direct mail, big mailers, when we would start with 250,000 pieces, you get a lot of quantitative data because we would mail about between 5 and 10,000 pieces per mailing list, to get 50 orders in each. And you get a pretty good idea of which lists are going in which directions. And that's just a super great way to start, right? So, okay, it's working. I'm just double checking to see if it's working. It's a super great way to start. So, whoops, now I got to find my way back. Okay, here. Now I can see the comments and see if it's working. So Mark says, okay, you can't do quantitative research if you got a really, really small company. Although in direct mail, like I said, with a couple of 100,000 or even 100,000 pieces, you're getting quite a bit of quantitative. But suppose you're not a mailer. Suppose you've got some other kind of company. He said, you don't have to do just quantitative work. You can do convenience sampling. He said, if you go to a trade show, just walk around like I did with Namoa. I went around asking mailers, do you test as much as you think you should? And pretty much everybody said, no, we don't. And that was how I pitched Namoa on doing a testing presentation on why people don't test. And it was very, very well received. Then I did at another Namoa, I went around and asked people, what's the definition of direct marketing in your opinion? And everybody said, generate a measurable response. And of course, my big issues with that is that measurable doesn't mean you even measure. No wonder people aren't testing. First of all, you have to do measurement, you have to generate a response, you have to measure it, and you have to set up tests. I think that's pretty much the essence of direct marketing. But that's not what anybody said. Everybody quoted the traditional definition, which Bob Stone agreed with me is not well crafted. I think my hair is all messy. I got a fuzzy, it was a bad hair day. My furnace went out this morning, so I've been working on my furnace. Yeah, there it goes. I fixed it. Okay, so where's that style consultant? She needs to tell me these things. So anyway, and he said, when you go to a trade show, you can just ask everybody that comes to your booth, ask them a question. You can find out a lot of stuff. And he shared an example where a medical company was able to share, without personal information, was able to share the kind of people at what point they were going on an insulin pump. And it's an excellent example. So you want to go over to Mark. Then his next one, he said it was his favorite. And what he's talking about is market segmentation. And really, the difference in market segmentation, especially in mail, what I try to figure out what the market orientation is. But exactly like Mark says, then I try to say, okay, what lists are available? And you can make one phone call to a list broker and get an enormous amount of information about what mailing lists you can get that might target your ethnography or psychological profile or special interest profile. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can test. And then the benefit of direct mail is you don't need to send out too many, but you have to get statistically significant. So you got to do a couple of thousand per list, depending on what kind of response you get. But anyway, really, really brilliant. Mark says, skip. You can pay for a lot of research, he says, but really you can do it a lot quicker by looking at source information. And in direct mail, that's certainly true. So anyway, that's enough for today. We're kind of, as you can see, I've cobbled this together partly so I can go back to working on my furnace. So feel free to call. Go over to WDMA to sign up. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Have a great day. I'm going to have a great day. I think I've got it figured out too. I've already changed out the exhaust motor. Yes, I know that you wouldn't maybe start there, but I did because mine was running loud. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Oh, I got to hit the actual buttons. This one doesn't have a toggle switch. Okay, here we go.